All right, let's jump right into it. If you're in operations, you already know this. Warehouse space is a huge chunk of your budget. I mean, it's one of the biggest operational costs, period. But what if you could actually make that space work for you instead of just being a cost? And that quote just nails it, doesn't it? The rent or mortgage, that's one thing. But the real cost, the one that's quietly eating away at your profits? It's the cost of using that space badly. Every empty shelf, every cluttered aisle, that's money just vanishing into thin air, literally. So that's exactly what we're here to do. We're going to break down how you can flip that script. We'll look at the common problems, figure out why they're happening, and give you a solid, actionable plan. The goal? To turn that warehouse from just a big, expensive box into one of your most powerful assets. I bet this hits home for a lot of you. You walk out onto the floor and it just feels packed, right? Like there's no room to move, pallets are stacked in the walkways, your forklift drivers are basically playing an obstacle course. But here's the question. Are you actually out of space, or is something else the real problem? And yeah, these symptoms probably look all too familiar. You've got the clogged up aisles that slow everything down, pallets and boxes just sitting in walkways where they shouldn't be, and oh, my favorite, all that wasted vertical space. You look up and see feet of empty air above your pallets. These aren't just little headaches, They're big, flashing warning signs that your space is fighting against you, not for you. It's a huge drag on safety and efficiency. Okay, but here's the thing. All those problems we just talked about, they don't just pop up out of nowhere. They're symptoms of a bigger issue. So to really fix this, we have to play detective and figure out what's really going on under the surface. And this is where we get to the root of it. I mean, think about it. Is your racking even set up for the stuff you're storing, or is it a one-size-fits-none situation? Do you have a system for where things go, slotting, or is it just, hey, there's an empty spot, stick it there? These are the kinds of questions that really uncover why your warehouse feels so crowded. So the big question, how do we fix all this? Well, the good news is there's a two-part plan. We've got first aid, which is all about quick wins you can implement like right now for immediate relief. And then we have the blueprint, which is for the long game, building a solid foundation for real, lasting efficiency. All right, let's start with first aid. These are your quick wins, the stuff you can do this week to start seeing a difference right away. Here you go, a 5-step plan to get you started. First, clear those aisles. Seriously, move the pallets, mark the boundaries. It's an instant win for safety and speed. Second, look up. Use that vertical space. Third, find your slow movers and get them out of the prime spots. 4, standardize your pallets if you can. And 5, be ruthless with that obsolete stock. It's not just spring cleaning. You're literally reclaiming valuable, productive space. Okay, let's take a really common example. What happens when your slow-moving stuff is clogging up all the best locations? You know the situation. Your hottest sellers are way in the back, but that stuff that hasn't moved in a year is sitting right by the shipping dock. It's killing your pick times. So what's the move? The fix is actually pretty straightforward. First, you do what's called an ABC analysis. Super simple. A items are your rock stars, the fast movers. C items are the slow ones, the dust collectors. B is everything in between. So you identify your C items and you move them. Stick them up high, put them in the back corner, get them out of the way. Then you take your A items and give them that prime real estate you just freed up. It's a simple rule. Your best space should always go to your best products. Always. Okay, so the first aid has stopped the bleeding. Now it's time for the real surgery. Let's talk about the blueprint for success. These are the big picture changes that make sure these problems don't just creep back in and that set you up to grow. This is where we get strategic. We're not just shuffling boxes anymore. We're rethinking the layout itself. Maybe that means redesigning your racking to fit your products like a glove. Or maybe it's time to look at narrow aisle racking to seriously boost your density. You could even build up, adding a mezzanine for small parts. These aren't just fixes, they're investments that will pay you back over and over again. So let's say you've done all the quick wins, but things still feel tight. You're thinking, we're full, we've hit our limit, but then you look up and you see all this empty air between your racks and the ceiling. How do you actually use that space? The answer is simple. Stop thinking in square feet and start thinking in cubic feet. So many warehouses are packed on the ground floor, but totally empty up high. You've got to go vertical. Extend those racks, put in a mezzanine, use stackable bins. You can literally double your storage without making your building 1 inch bigger. It's a total game changer. So we've got our first aid for quick fixes and our blueprint for long-term strategy. Let's connect the dots now and see how these solutions actually translate into real, tangible results. I love this because it makes it so clear. Look at the problem on the left and see the direct line to the solution and the result. You've got wasted vertical space. Well, you extend the racking, and boom, more capacity, no expensive expansion. Aisles are a mess. You organize them, and suddenly, picking is faster and safer. It's a straight line from problem to solution to profit. And really, that's the whole point. This isn't just about playing a giant game of Tetris to see how much you can cram in. It's about something much bigger. It's about creating an operation that flows better, moves faster, is way safer, and ultimately puts more money back in your pocket. It's about taking control. So I want to leave you with one final thought. Don't get overwhelmed thinking you have to redesign the whole warehouse overnight. Just think about tomorrow. When you walk in, what's the 1 square foot you can make better? Is it one pallet that's in the wrong place? One cluttered corner? Find that one spot, because that's where this whole transformation really starts.